Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Friday evening, October 17, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you all like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you all get this video to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you all utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the weather's been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Taking a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook that just came out at 7:17 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:17 p.m. Jamaica time. We can see that we're still watching that code yellow right there to the northeast of Bermuda that has a 10% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days as well as within the next 7 days. And we're still watching this tropical wave that's now across the main development region that should have a chance of developing into a tropical storm over the next 7 days. We see that it now has a 0% chance over the next 2 days and a 30% chance over the next 7 days. And if we take a look at both entities, we can see the clouds circulating around that entity that's trying to become more tropical, so it can acquire the next name. We can also see the clouds associated with that tropical wave right here across the main development region that has a chance of developing as soon as it enters the Caribbean. And if we read the very latest here from the Hurricane Center about this code yellow, they've stated here: a tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic around 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands continues to produce a large area of showers and thunderstorms. Gradual development of this system is possible over the next several days, while it moves generally westward at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Regardless of development, this system is expected to bring heavy rainfall and gusty winds to the Windward Islands late this week and then move across the Caribbean Sea much of next week. And we see that they've given the area a 0% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days and a 30% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. And we're still looking at what the latest Euro and GFS supercomputer models are showing. This map from the Euro is showing 12Z on Friday, October 24. So that's about 7 a.m. on Friday. And we can see the abundance of moisture across the Greater Antilles, including Jamaica, extending all the way down into portions of Central America right here. We see even the red L that represents an airflow pressure, and we see the isobar circulating that red L, so there is more than likely going to be more of a southeasterly, if not an easterly flow coming into southern and eastern Jamaica, all courtesy of this broad airflow pressure. Broad airflow pressure now being shown on the Euro. We'll see how it actually develops as time goes on, but the GFS still a bit slower than the Euro, and look at that, even stronger. The same time, 7 a.m. on Friday, October 24, 2025. This is where the GFS has the system affecting portion of the Dominican Republic. We see the dark greens into the yellows into the oranges and red. That is crazy if that actually unfolds. And the thing is, if you actually looked at what it did at first, it acted like it was coming towards us and then it started to drift back towards the northeast. Boy, I'm working with what the Euro is showing, because we don't normally see that kind of track when it comes to these tropical systems, making a whole U-turn and going maybe to the north. I'm definitely working with what the Euro is showing. As of right now, a lot of moisture definitely going to be coming into portion of the Greater Antilles and Central America. And we know that if this system should acquire a name, the next name on the list is Melissa. If the other system in the Atlantic acquires the name, we know the next name on the list is Nestor. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see the frontal systems across the northern portion of North Atlantic. That other frontal system that has now induced a trough into portion of Jamaica, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, We can see that tropical wave that's right to the east of the Windward Islands, and the other one that we are all watching to the east of that one, to the we can see it, both of them being steered from east to west, all courtesy of this ridge of high pressure to the north. There's actually another tropical wave to the southeast of that tropical wave, and there's another one that just exited the coast of Africa. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before we lost sunlight, we can make out all the entities that we just mentioned. The tropical wave right here that has a low chance of development. The tropical wave to the west of there that's about to affect portion of northeastern South America and then possibly Trinidad and Tobago. That other tropical wave just to the southeast of that one. And we see the other tropical wave just exiting the coast of Africa. That frontal system and the trough that has induced into portion of Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, and the other frontal system just to its north right there. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Friday, October 17, 2025. It was stated that rainfall could have been in the forecast of parts of some eastern, central, and western parishes, also affecting sections of some northern parishes during Friday afternoon. I know that eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? Well, first of all, our northern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on top. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. And regarding what actually took place, the visible and infrared satellite imagery were posted not only here on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, but it was also posted on our Instagram page with the Jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So at around 12:55 p.m., we saw what was going on the visible and the infrared satellite imagery here. We saw the clouds bring overcast skies, if not thunder showers, to sections of Westmoreland, Hanover, St. Elizabeth, St. James, section of Trelawney, St. Anne. We also saw the activity across section of St. Thomas and Portland. And then another post was made at around 3:15 p.m. highlighting the huge blow-up of convection across the entire island, especially across sections of St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Anne. That was where the brunt of today's thunderstorms were. Some very heavy rainfall took place over there. And we also saw the thunderstorm activity across sections of St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Trelawney, so too sections of St. Mary, Portland, and I even got on a heavy downpour in my part of St. Thomas as well. And if we take a look at the visible satellite imagery of Jamaica before we lost sunlight, we can see that huge blanket of white that represents the cloud cover, huge burst of convection across the entirety of the island. We also see some thunderstorms to our southwest, to our southeast, atmosphere very unstable, and we see that even better on the infrared, a lot of thunderstorms. Even although most of the activity is dying out across the island, we still see a lot of thunderstorms just to the southwest of us, to the southeast of us. The atmosphere definitely moist as we speak. And even if we backtrack the Jamaican Doppler radar imagery, it also shows that rainfall that, as you can see, as time goes on up to this point, starting to dissipate and clear out for the most part. But you see the greens into the yellows into the oranges and the reds represents that moderate to heavy rainfall, especially across section of Clarendon, St. Catherine, St. Anne today for sure. They definitely got on some heavy rainfall. I definitely got some heavy rainfall in my part of St. Thomas as well. And as you can see, by the time of this recording, most of this activity has died out. And we definitely have confirmation of the rainfall that took place here in Little London and Westmoreland today. We see how soaking wet the ground is. Just to confirm that we definitely had some rainfall over there. We can even see what looked like some kind of a special event that's about to take place. I wonder if it's actually live right now. Yep, there we go. Definitely blocked off. Some kind of crazy dance or party is gonna be held over here. We see it's blocked off. Huge speakers over here. Hopefully everything is okay regarding the weather over there. And we definitely have confirmation right here. The rainfall that took place today, Look at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website confirming all of that rainfall, especially across section to some eastern, central, and western parishes. And we even have the National Works Agency here confirming that we definitely were impacted in some areas by all of the heavy rainfall. First, they posted at 3:58 p.m. citing landslide near the Sligoville Road entrance or exit has blocked over 75% of the section of the Bogwalk Gorge. The NWA crew is assessing the situation to determine the most suitable action at this time as it continues to rain. They also stated that the Bogwalk Gorge is now closed. Water in the Rio Cobra has risen to dangerous levels, and so no vehicular traffic can use the corridor at this time. Please use the north-south highway as an alternative. They also stated flooded main road from Spalding to K Valley in Clarendon. They also stated impacted main road from Highgate Hall to Stettin, Trelawney is being impacted by multiple landslides. Also, the corridor from Wire Fence to Warsop, we're mobilizing equipment to address issues. Caution is advised, and they also attached an image right here to show how the area was affected. What looks like some debris, landslide, trees, whatever the case may be, mud here and there. We also have another one right here. Oh, this is from Jomar Parks. He stated this was northern Clarendon today, heading into K Valley, St. Anne after the heavy rain. Basically the same area that the National Works Agency just highlighted. Look at the murky water on the road. This is just ridiculous. Thanks for sending this, Jomar. Thank you very much for this. Let us reload and see if there's any update from the National Works Agency, because I don't want to be highlighting this and they stated that the area has cleared out. Alright, still no update. Last post was made 2 hours ago. But we definitely have some comments that came in here from some of our followers. We have Rajio stating it's raining in Mandeville now at 6:10 p.m. on October 17. Thanks for confirming. We have Ricardo stating rain and thunder and mash up St. Anne. It's extremely crazy. We have Memphis stating lots of thunders and lightning but no rain as yet. Even on our YouTube page, we have Active481 stating cloudy in East area. Randale Green stating good evening weather Jamaica. We're getting some rain and thunderstorm in Brownstown, St. Anne now. Thanks for confirming. We have Anthony Dennis stating raining and thunderstorm in Buxton. Gaza _ King 1 stating the sky is getting dark in Spanish Town. Rain is about to fall where I am. We also have Sylvia Bando posting 6 hours ago. Very much overcast in Brownstown, St. Anne. Edem Fong posting 5 hours ago. I am in Linstead. Terrible lightning and thunder with heavy rain showers. We have Javon Panton posting 3 hours ago. Spanish Town rain. We have Paulette Stevenson posting 6 hours ago. St. Catherine sunny but some overcast skies visible. We have Doreen Seidel posting 4 hours ago. We're supposed to be coming to Negril on October 23. I'll be so sad if we can't go due to the storm. Come to Jamaica. Don't worry about it, Doreen. Come to Jamaica. Even if we get a storm, Jamaican buildings are very resilient for the most part. We have L. Francis stating South Manchester cloudy plenty. Lightning, thunder. Naiki Ben stating light rain and thunder. Well, light rain and lightning and thunder is now affecting Mapen, Clarendon. We also have Paulette stating real-time weather in St. Catherine. It rained cats and dogs with heavy rain and thunder and scare flashes of lightning. It has stopped but can still hear the echoing of the thunder. Javon Panton stating Spanish Town rain. Demir Lockstafari terrible thunderstorm over Portmore right now. Wow. Latoya stating get a lot of rain today in southeastern St. Elizabeth. And even on our Instagram page we had the comments coming in. Kayla stating thunder, lightning, heavy rain in Linstead. The designer Pride stating thunder and lightning, rain and more rain, St. Catherine. We have Realm _JA stating listen boss, these lightning in Portmore now play jaja, but the rain though is very heavy. We also have Sugar stating rain a tear in Portmore. Prezi _Carell stating thunder and lightning and strong breeze. We have Broken without my son 48 stating fall rainfall please. We have a Menick.us 48 stating rain in Spanish Town. We have Emily 106 Thomas stating some breeder thunder where lick Spanish Town they murder. One Ryan _ stating dark clouds in Hanover so far. We have hey it's Katie Hutchinson posting 3 hours ago. This lightning is serious. We have a Safar Mac 2013 stating some serious lightning and thunder going in on my part of Spain. Me catch my afraid, man. We also have Myth Daily stating a lot of lightning in Clarendon, Kiki _2 _ tasty city, pure rain in St. Catherine. We have SJA _girl 876S stating 3 hours ago, rain just finished in Mobe, still a little overcast and I can hear thunder in the distance. We have Javon Panton posting 3 hours ago, Spanish Town, and more than likely that's a rain or cloud emoji. We also had some comments that came in here on our social media platform, well, that's our TikTok platform. We have a G and J Momish stating it start. I believe that's an emoji for rain, I'm sure. If Charmaine setting no rain in St. Andrew today, in your part of St. Andrew, I'm sure it rained somewhere, because I remember seeing on Twitter somebody saying that some parts of northern St. Andrew definitely got rainfall. We also have Jason Trelawney, a lot of rain. Thank you all for confirming what the weather was like in your area for today. Alright, so let us reload the very latest still image from the Weather Nerds website. Let us reload the very latest Jamaican Doppler radar image, the latest Cuban Doppler radar image, the latest Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar image, and the latest Cayman radar imagery. We want to see exactly what's taking place across the island right now. Alright, so the latest still image from the Weather Nerds website is showing 0045 UTC, which is actually 7:45 p.m. So this just came out 8 minutes ago, considering that it is 7:53 p.m. right now. As you can see, all of the clouds that brought us the rainfall today are definitely dissipating as we speak, while we are still seeing thunder showers to the east of us, to the south of us, to the southwest of us, and we definitely have confirmation, the latest Jamaican Doppler radar imagery right here, confirming that for sure. We can definitely see the rain bands just to the east of the island, definitely in line with this to show that we're definitely getting on some rainfall underneath these clouds. You also see the rain bands, the isolated pockets of them to the south and to the southwest of us as well, some light to moderate rainfall out to sea. And we also have the Cuban Doppler radar confirming the same, the isolated pockets of rainfall to the south of us, to the east of us. The Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar confirming that rainfall to the east of us between Jamaica and Haiti right here, some moderate to heavy rainfall at that. And we can also see the Cayman radar confirming that rainfall just to the south and to the west of the island, some decent moderate to heavy rainfall as we speak. And if we take a look at what's taking place, the live camera here from C Jamaica's YouTube channel showing people walking about, going about their business, nothing to do with bad weather taking place at this time in halfway tree, and that should be the order of the evening into the night. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit C Jamaica on YouTube. They have these live streams all for you all to view for free, so subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out. Taking a look at the total accumulated precipitation for the past, well, taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can tell we have 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Saturday, temperature should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Saturday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Saturday. And this is Jamaica right here embedded in the grays that represents 0 on the key on the right. I will know the 0 represents average temperatures. I will know the average or the normal temperature for the month of October across Jamaica is around 89 degrees Fahrenheit. And when that's converted to degrees Celsius that we use here in Jamaica, that's around 31.6 degrees Celsius. So that should be Jamaica's temperature forecast for Saturday, October 18. And we're grateful that we don't see any maintenance outage advisories here from my JPS online Twitter page. You know that we usually have to highlight these maintenance outages because you know that when we have power outages somewhere across the island, it can definitely make the heat feel even worse because we don't have our fan or our AC to cool us down. So we're grateful that we don't see any outages expected on Saturday. And we have some tips right here to beat the heat as usual. It states here, seek shade when outside, eat fresh, try eating cold food such as salads and fruits. Rest, make sure you get enough sleep and rest if you're feeling tired. Soak, take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. And I cannot stress enough the importance of staying hydrated throughout the day. Drink lots of water even if you're not thirsty, and put away those sugar drinks and drink water instead. The dry air map, as you know, the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom. The yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites, the window trace. And we see that dry air across the main development region. We see that dry air off the east coast of the United States extending into the Gulf. We know that the dry air is responsible for keeping the atmosphere stable, making it harder for it to rain. And if you notice, we have mostly moist air in and around Central America, the Caribbean, the southern to the eastern main development region, all the way up into portions of the central Atlantic. And that's what we want more of. We want more moisture so that we get more clouds, so that we get more rainfall to keep water in our pipes. And if we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for the next 3 days, we're heading into October 18, October 19, and October 20. And as you can see here, Jamaica should be in the clear from the Saharan dust. There's some slight Saharan dust pushing through the eastern Caribbean over the next 3 days. Nothing to even worry about. I'm sure that they won't even see the hazy skies. You know that the crazy Saharan dust plume is indicated by the oranges into the pinks, and we don't have that at all. We have more so some green, so that's the lowest end of the scale in terms of Saharan dust. So persons asthma or sinusitis issues won't even be triggered. The wave forecast for tomorrow still showing those light shades of blues to blues across the Caribbean that represents anywhere from 0.5 for meter wave height all the way up to 1 meter wave height, and that's because of the winds that are expected. We see the blues into the greens that represent anywhere from 5 to 10 knots, maybe even up to 15 knots from the east here across the eastern Caribbean, more of a east southeast, if not a southeasterly flow into Jamaica. And if we zoom in on Jamaica, to the north of the island tomorrow, so to the north of Portland, 0.5 for meter wave height expected, 0.6 for meter wave height expected to the north of St. Anne, 0.4 for meter wave height expected to the north of Hanover, 0.3 for meter wave height expected to the south of Westmoreland, 0.2 for meter wave height expected to the south of Clarendon, while to the south of St. Thomas, 0.3 for meter wave height expected. And that's because of the winds that are expected. Clearly stronger winds on the north coast, up to 12 knots right here to the north of St. Anne. And look at this, we have weaker winds on the south coast from the southeast, averaging 8 knots right here to the south of St. Thomas, 6 knots right here to the south of Manchester. And clearly we see it from the east on the north coast, and we also see that since the air is going to be coming like this, more of a southeasterly flow, all of the air is going to be piling up across the north coast, because that is where the least amount of winds are going to be. So that is where we could have some of these low-level clouds becoming mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds. And then when we have that daytime heating, some of these cloud tops will be sheared off towards the south by that upper-level wind shear. And if we take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both valid for 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 10 a.m. 10 a.m. This is what the Euro and the GFS are showing. We're seeing blues represent rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes. We see it especially across the east and the south. So remember the southeasterly flow. So we could be getting on some moisture pushing from southeast to northwest. We see that across sections of St. Thomas into Portland, St. Andrew, St. Mary, St. Anne, sections of St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland into Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, if I didn't say that as yet. Then by afternoon, look at that. We even have even more widespread rainfall, the Euro and the GFS. Showing something similar, especially the GFS with that darker blue and the greens across the northern and western end. And we're still getting some rainfall on the south and eastern side. So it's looking like morning rainfall. Well, looking like all day rainfall starting at around 9, maybe 10 a.m. especially during the afternoon across sections of some northern and western parishes. Very interesting day tomorrow. And even the total accumulated precipitation for the next 24 hours are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Saturday. You see the oranges into the slight reds. It represents up to at least 0.69 of an inch of rainfall. The GFS going up to at least 1.2 inches of rainfall. So that could be a lot. And whatever happens, we'll definitely take it because we're in the month of October. And in St. Elizabeth, we usually receive up to 148 millimeters of rainfall this month. That's about the same as 5.8 inches of rainfall. While in Trelawney, we usually receive 182 millimeters of rainfall this month. That's about the same as 7.2 inches of rainfall. And if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives in terms of rainfall for the month of October or for the entire year, you can visit nomadseason.com and that website to show you that information. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days have in store for us according to the latest Euro and GFS supercomputer model runs that came out today. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here at the top As we go to the next 168 hours, keep your eyes focused on Jamaica right here as we look for all of this that we see on the key on the right. That's the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens represent inches of rainfall. So let's see what's going to be taking place. So we just looked at Saturday's forecast. Now it's time to look at Sunday. And as you can see, we have some moisture to the south of us, some moisture across the far eastern end, some moisture to the north of us. And then on Sunday afternoon, we're seeing moisture across eastern, central, and western parishes. What does the GFS show? On a Sunday morning, rainfall surrounding us. Then Sunday afternoon, rainfall once again across eastern, central, western parishes. What do we see on Monday morning? Monday morning, not really seeing much on the Euro. Monday afternoon, maybe some rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, western parishes once again. What does the GFS show? Monday morning, maybe some isolated showers across the far eastern end. Then on Monday afternoon, we're seeing that rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, western parishes. What do we see on Tuesday morning? Tuesday morning, maybe some rainfall across the far northeastern end. Tuesday afternoon, rainfall across sections of some central and eastern parishes. What does the GFS show? Tuesday morning, rainfall across some northern parishes. On Tuesday afternoon, we're seeing rainfall across sections of some central and western parishes. What do we see on Wednesday morning? Wednesday morning, we're definitely seeing an increase in moisture, more than likely associated with the tropical wave that should be coming in. We see a lot of moisture here across the central to the eastern portion of Jamaica. Then on Wednesday afternoon, look at that, still getting a lot of moisture across eastern, central, and western parishes. What do we see on the GFS? GFS for Sunday morning, we're seeing some isolated showers to the north of us. We're seeing a lot of moisture across the south central and southwestern Caribbean. Very interesting. Then on Sunday afternoon, maybe some rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, western parishes once again. And there we have something trying to formulate here to the south of Hispaniola. We also see something here to the east of Nicaragua. Very interesting. What do we see on Thursday morning? Thursday morning, a lot of moisture right here associated with that tropical wave that's trying to develop, pushing into section of Jamaica, Haiti. And we also see that for Thursday afternoon, we're still getting on some moisture across Jamaica. And we're going to be stopping right here at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for Friday, October 24. And we see that moisture across the central Caribbean, including, Hispaniola, southeastern Cuba, Jamaica. What does the GFS show for the same time period? Thursday morning, rainfall across the northeastern end. Thursday afternoon, rainfall across the eastern end of the island. And we're seeing where that system is trying to develop to the south of Hispaniola. We're also seeing a little friend of it right here across southeastern Nicaragua. What do we see at the end of the 168 hours? So look at that. It looks like the system is even drifting away, just like how we highlighted earlier. Even a stronger system for sure, pushing to the north or to the northeast into Dominican Republic, if not Puerto Rico. Very interesting. But the fact that the Euro is showing something different just highlights the fact that the future of the system is uncertain. So it doesn't have to stay updated to see exactly what takes place. And regarding the total accumulated precipitation, it makes sense that the most rainfall across the Caribbean over the next 7 days should be where we have Jamaica, especially to the south of there, into Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, because of that tropical wave. We're talking about anywhere from 12 up to 5 inches of rainfall in the dark reds into the pinks. Very interesting. And regarding what's being seen on the GFS, yes, we're seeing the rainfall into Central America too, but clearly we see a lot of it starting to push back into Hispaniola, especially with that trek that we saw back to the northeast. Whatever happens, we'll see it actually plays out as time goes on. And regarding Jamaica's total accumulated precipitation for the next 7 days, both maps right here from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Friday, October 24. And you see the island shaded in the pinks, the reds, the yellows, the oranges that represents anywhere from 30 all the way to maybe 90, maybe even 100 millimeters of rainfall. We see 134 millimeters right here across the far eastern end. GFS only going up to at least anywhere from 30 to 88 millimeters of rainfall. We'll see it actually plays out, and whatever happens, I will definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs if God spares life. Regarding what's taking place across the rest of the Caribbean, so as we stated, we have a frontal system pushing through the Bahamas into northern Florida, into northern Cuba. We also see the thunderstorms that affected portion of the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Hispaniola, section of Puerto Rico today, that other tropical that's about to affect portions of the Windward Islands. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar imagery, near Puerto Rico. Let us see what's taking place down there right now. We see a lot of moisture affecting the Dominican Republic. Moderate to heavy rainfall, especially to the northeast of there. Don't really see much affecting Puerto Rico or the Leeward Islands right now. But if we load these images from earlier today, we saw we had some moisture pushing from west to east to the south of Puerto Rico. Some moisture also pushing into section of St. Kitts and Nevis. And regarding the Barbados radar, not seeing much of anything from Dominica southward. We're starting to see some moisture as we head into section of the Grenadines, Grenada, and we also see some moisture right there to the east of Trinidad, definitely associated with that tropical wave that is pushing in. The weather view of Doppler radar images shows some rainfall right here to the west of the Cayman Islands, some rainfall right here to the east of the Yucatan, affecting northern Guatemala as well, so too Colombia, northwestern Venezuela. And if we take a look at where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, both maps right here from the Euro and the GFS are in agreement that rainfall should definitely be in the forecast of portions of central to the southern Bahamas, section of northern coastal Cuba, southeastern Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, sections of St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, so too some rainfall for portions of Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, sections of Venezuela, the ABC Islands, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan. And we clearly see that both the Euro and the GFS mods are showing something similar, so the chances are higher for it to actually take place. Regarding what's taking place across the Eastern Pacific, let us see. Not really much of anything, because hold on, let me see if I can load it up. Yeah, that code orange that we saw yesterday has been downgraded back to a code yellow, so now it only has a 10% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. We still see the cloud showers and thunderstorms associated with it to the south of Mexico, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be acquiring that name on the list, which is Sonia, at all, considering that the chances have been lowered. Regarding what's happening on the Indian Ocean and the Western Pacific side of things, out of nowhere we have a brand new code red on the southern Indian Ocean side of things. And when they are, below the equator, that they're gonna be pushing, twisting in more of a clockwise flow instead of that anti-clockwise flow that we're used to. Very interesting. Let's see if we actually acquire a name. Will it actually go towards Australia or towards southeastern Africa or Madagascar? Very interesting. We also see that other code red now. It was a code yellow. It was far east of the Philippines. Then it became a code orange. Now it is right on the doorstep of the Philippines. And if we take a look at the deep convection associated with it, it already looks tropical depression-ish. And it is about to start affecting the Philippines with some deep convection, some rainfall. Easily the Philippines floods, as you know, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to be getting some footage coming out of this country, especially if the system develops into a tropical depression or storm. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.